Yeah, it was. It was really nice to the supporters at the end. Rightly so, to show their appreciation. He is an absolute legend. He has been over the years for our country and deserves all the plaudits he's going to get. You know, his best mate in Bailo made sure that there was a fuss made of him. And like I said, rightly so. It was an honour for me to have been a part of that tonight as well.
You mentioned Gareth there coming on for the last 10 minutes. He's described their friendship as a bromance. Just how much does that talk about the togetherness of the squad as well, that somebody like Gareth, you know, coming out for a friendly to play 10 minutes like he did? What does that say about your squad?
Yeah, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? It is a friendship, and there's 6 other romances going on, by the way. So, and I'll let you work all them out. But they're a tight group, absolutely. And Bailo he wanted to be involved tonight on his best mate's big moment, and rightly so. You know, it was vice versa when Gareth got his, and with Gunt's, and I'm just honoured that I've been able to be a part of all 3 of them, and hopefully now many more to come.
In terms of the rest of the squad as well, it seemed like a really useful night's work for you in terms of getting to see the likes of Brennan Johnson and Ruben Colwill start. What did you make of their impact?
Yeah, well, as soon as we knew we had a friendly, it was an obvious choice. We were never going to risk, the DJ, the Daniel Jameses, the Ben Davises, Bailo starting and Aaron and H, and it was no point in that. We used it as an exercise to look at some of the younger players and what we've got in the future. And when you've got a front 3 like that with Ruben as an intelligent 10 and Brennan in the form he's at the championship level at the minute, and Rabi, playing abroad but playing really well and creating chances and scoring goals. When you've got those as a front 3, you're going to pose a threat and cause problems. So there were some big performances tonight. And I just said to them before the game, you've got an opportunity now to show us what you can do, because we've got a massive month in June. Not only have we got the playoff final for a World Cup, we've also got some very big games in the Nations League in Holland, home and away, Belgium at home. And we're going to need a big squad. So it was their opportunity to go and shine tonight.
And just finally on that, Rob, you mentioned that massive month in June. Does a performance like that help convince you that someone like Brennan Johnson is ready to play international football? Absolutely.
I didn't really need any convincing with Brennan. I've seen him quite a few times for Forest this season, and he's been magnificent. So he's got a bright future in front of him, and he's a humble guy as well. Very humble. He's he don't get carried away with it. He's absolutely made the right decision to stay at Forest until the end of the season. He wants to play games. He's still learning, and credit to him and his dad. Who's obviously a big influence on his career. I played against Dave, so he's a bright spark. Ruben took the goal really well, and Rabi with his pace as well.
Thanks, Rob.
Cheers, Stav. Loris Mora from TalkSport.
Hi, Rob. Another good evening's work. You're making this home record, not just stand, but you seem like there was real togetherness going into that summer, a real good feeling amongst the squad.
Yeah, it was important to us, and that was part of my message before the game as well. Protect that unbeaten run. What we didn't want is a little blip tonight for whatever reason. It wasn't all about the result tonight, but I just said to him before, yes, we're doing it for a great cause in Ukraine, and it was a fundraiser for that. Yes, we've got a legend in Wayne Hennessy getting his 100th cap, but then the emotion stops there. It's another game. We want to keep this unbeaten run going and build momentum going into June, keep that continuity. And thankfully, we've done that. Along with that, we've had some big performances from some of the younger players.
It does feel like Rabi's gone up another level. Watching him now, I know you've talked about Brennan there, but he seems to have developed in his game and his game understanding as well. As he's always had that raw pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, there's still more to come from Rabi. Believe me. He's always got that. He's got that in his armour. He's got that pace in behind. It's understanding when to release the ball now, and he is getting better with it. He took on board the advice I gave him last year and said, "Look, go and establish yourself at club level. International football will follow." He's earned the right to be back involved in the squad, absolutely, and he deserved the chance to start tonight, and he hasn't disappointed me.
And Joe Morrell coming into it as well, he must have been really disappointed to have missed out on that semi-final place, given that he's played in so many games leading up to that, and just showed what he's all about in the midfield.
Yeah, he's different class, isn't he, Joe? For somebody of his quality, he should be playing higher, of course. He doesn't disappoint every time he puts a jersey on for Wales and plays at this level. And he's a very good Czech Republic team, I might add. He always produces for us. So there was no surprises again from him. We've learned over the last couple of years that he's somebody you can throw in midfield and he'll absolutely control the game for you.
And just finally for me, I know we'll be in there as placeholder for Friday's draw, but how are you going to feel, Rob? Is it the thoughts must turn to that now? How are you going to feel kind of going into that?
Like every other Welsh supporter out there watching the draw, I'm really excited. Just at the group of players, what an unbelievable camp we've just had, and now there's good times to come. There's absolutely good times to come for this group, and I'll be full of excitement watching the draw, and yeah, looking forward to the build up into June.
Good stuff. Cheers, Rob.
Thanks.
Jeff Lawrence. We'll go to Neil Moxley from the Mirror. I think you're on mute, Neil.
Hello, Rob. Just wondering if you can give us a little bit of a précis of Ruben's attributes, if you wouldn't mind, please. He seems to have quite a very old head on extremely young shoulders.
Yeah, Ruben was my sort of wild card for the Euros. I could see straight away, as soon as he trained with us, I could see that he's got ability, absolutely in abundance. And I wanted to expose him to those experiences in Euros of training with the likes of Gareth and Aaron and Joe and Ben Davies and Chris Gunter, the senior players. Let him experience what it's like to be in that international tournament, so that it's not alien to him in future tournaments when we qualify again. And he's a talented player. He's an absolute talented player. He can play. I want to see him as a midfielder tonight as well as a 10. I want to see him as an 8, because I think he's got the attributes to be an 8. He's a big, powerful runner, like the goal he scored against Liverpool when he came on. You know, he's powerful through the middle of the pitch. He's got an eye for goal. He can score goals. He can play any of the front 4 positions. So there's a lot going for that lad. And he's a humble guy as well. He just gets on with his work. He's not a minute's problem. And yeah, he's got a chance.
Have you seen a quick improvement in him, Rob? Because it sounds like you've deliberately fast tracked him.
Well, yeah, from what would have been 18 months ago when I first clapped eyes on him and saw his ability, I knew that he's going to have a wonderful career in the game, absolutely, and he's got a bright future with us for Wales as well. So it's about developing him. It's about exposing him to certain things, like taking him to the Euros and letting him see what it's like in that environment, and then using him when we need to. Tonight, absolutely the right decision to start him, and he proved that. And like I said, a wonderful asset to have. Whether he needs to come on and change the game and score goals and get you up the pitch, then it's another string to his bow.
Thanks for your time, Rob.
Thank you.
Diolch, Neil. And then 2 more now. We've got Beth Fisher from ITV Wales.
Hey, Rob. Gunter to Johnson to Colwill. How much did you enjoy that goal?
Sorry, say that again, Beth.
Oh, you just ruined my whole moment then, but I'll repeat it. Joking. Gunter to Johnson to Colwill. How much did you enjoy that moment?
Yeah, we worked on it all week. Sorry for killing the moment there.
Yeah, that was like my, whatever. No, anyway.
Yeah, well, listen, Chris Gunter is experienced enough to know when to play over the press, and he absolutely did that. You know, he was an old-fashioned up back and through, wasn't it? And it was a great finish by Ruben.
Ruben's analysis of Brennan's was meep in his analysis of Brennan's speed. I think that probably sums it up for everyone, really, doesn't it? Yeah, the problem we have is keeping up with him. When he gets going, nobody else can. Well, Rabbi might give him a race, but no, it's wonderful to have pace like that, Beth, in the team. And like I said, Ruben's intelligence, getting the ball in the middle of the park, the threat of Rabbi in behind, and on another day it might have been DJ in behind, and Brennan on the other side. Brennan's proven to be a wonderful player, isn't he? He's doing it week in, week out at Nottingham Forest, and linked with big clubs, and no doubt he will get that move at the right time. And he's got a great future in front of him. Joe made an interesting point. Given that Wales has only got a population of 3 million, the fact that we've got world-class players means that Ruben, the pressure's off him a little bit, and that's important, isn't it? That that he has that chance to grow, but under the the tree of growth and of Bale, etc.
Yeah, and there's no better example, is there, and a mentor than in Gareth. I'm privileged. I get to see Gareth with the group day in, day out. I know he conducts himself and is with those younger players, and the younger players will hang on to every word he says and how he conducts himself, how he trains, how he works, how he plays. So it's somebody, it's great to learn from the likes of Gareth, and they're learning every day on camp. They're learning from.
Last question from me. Obviously, we talk about the importance of the Red Wall and being together stronger. Now, Wales women have got a huge match on the of April against France in their World Cup qualifier. Just a message maybe to the fans about their importance of getting down to Llanelli and supporting them as well, given what we've seen over the last week.
Absolutely. I met with Gemma a couple of weeks back. We there was a few things she wanted to talk about with regards to how we play and how we press. And so we've had a really positive meeting with Gus as well, and spoke about recruitment and how we do it, and certain aspects of how we go about our work and play, with one eye on the France game. And I can't speak highly enough of the importance of then the red wall and the supporters. So absolutely, women's football is in a good place at the minute with Wales and what Gemma's doing and the changes she's made in a positive way. And yeah, let's get that in numbers and support them.
Thank you very much, Rob. Cheers.
Cheers, Beth. Thank you.
Diolch, Beth. And just to finish things off, to a bit tight for time, would be Tommy Lewis from North Wales Live.
Hi, Rob. You okay?
Good, Tommy. Thanks.
Good. Just a quick one to start. Aaron Ramsey wasn't in the match day squad, Rob. What's the update with him in terms of his injury?
No, there's no injury. It's a no-brainer for me. No, there's no injury. Listen, what we have to do is show respect to the clubs as well. You know, we've got their players. Aaron's, 30 years old now, 30 plus years old. Gareth's the same. Gareth wanted to be involved with Wayne tonight. I'm not saying Aaron didn't. I made that decision not to have him and Joe Allen in the 23. And it was a no-brainer, really. The job was done. The most important game was against Austria on Thursday. Job done. But in the final, this was a productive exercise to see some of the younger players, and they didn't need to risk Aaron. Let him go back to his club and with full fitness and playing a wonderful game at Old Firm Derby on Sunday. Knowing then that is less risk again then of him getting injured or picking anything else up, so we can protect him a little bit for June.
Yeah, absolutely. And just on tonight, really, three guys out there with 100 caps, which is crazy, really, on the field at the same time. Well, not on the same time, but Ethan Ampadu, 21 years old, 33 caps to his name already. I mean, could he be one of the next Centurions? I mean, we're a long way off, but it's good to see, isn't it, lads with a lot of caps to their name at such a young age.
Yeah, and he's got an old head on young shoulders, Ethan Ampadu. He's been around forever, hasn't he? He's and again, he's one of those that fall into the category. He's not just a wonderful player. He's a really nice person as well, and very humble. And yeah, I can see him going on and having many more caps for Wales.
Yeah. And just the last one, Rob. Tomorrow night, Mark Jones has got the Wales C match, leading the Wales C team against England C. A lot of players have come from the non-league system to play for Wales, guys like Sorba, Thomas. Presumably you'd be keeping one eye on that game and, hoping for a big turnout to support the boys in Caernarfon.
Yeah, whenever Wales play, we expect the supporters to turn up, of course. It's a non-league team. Sorba went from a Premiership academy and he had to drop out to Boreham Wood at non-league and go again. So there's value in giving everything you've got into that and not sort of admitting defeat and thinking that's the end of it. Sorba's proof of that. So yeah, the non-league side of it as well is really important.
Great.
Brilliant. Diolch, Rob.
Diolch, everyone. We need to leave.